All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope all's well with everybody, man. Let's talk this boxing today. Marcus the Villain, what's going on with you, man? Hope you well. Let me pull this other screen up. And you guys let me know if you can hear me, if you got any volume problems. But we're going to talk about Tyson Fury today. That's a wild boy right there, man. No joke. Cool. Got it. You can hear me. All right. What's going on, Boxnard? Oh, I made this. Said, what up, Fannon and the good people? Willie UK Boxing said, punctual as always. I try my best. Sometimes, I might go off a little bit, but I try my absolute best. Watcher, what's in the building, man? Hey, make sure you guys in this show ask me whatever questions you want to ask me. I'm going to try to stay with the last comment and just kind of stay there. I got to improve the processes, man. But this morning, Tyson Fury, I'm going to stay on this dude's neck till he's out of boxing. Made up my mind. I'm on your neck till you're out of the sport. That's it. Period. Tyson Fury needs to get out of the sport of boxing, man. I don't even care about the Deontay Wilder fight no more. Other than to insist that he has it if Deontay Wilder wants it. But other than that, Tyson Fury is not worth, he ain't worth spit. Not worth spit. Did some research on him yesterday. That's a bitch right there. Period. Point blank, period, irredeemable. Nobody around him likes him. Just found it out, nigga. Nobody around you likes you. Have you seen the Fury Chisora press conference where Chisora exposed how Fury was disliked in the UK in Manchester? I know my name is UK boxing, but I am much bigger US boxing fan. Oh, our boxers are boring, stiff ironing boards. Well, they're just at a different level, man. What's going on, Rampage Jackson? No, they're just at a different level, man. If boxing was right, UK fighters would be better fighters. They would be better fighters. Because they wouldn't always have to have those sorry-ass trainers. The problem with UK boxing is you got sorry-ass trainers. And some of them, some of the biggest ones really are just drug pushers. When you have a drug pusher as your trainer, your training is going to suffer. Easy. Not a problem. What's good, C-Cut? Yeah, if you get the drug dealers out of the corners of those fighters, you get the drug dealers and the gamblers out of their corners, they'll be better fighters. Dominic England, according to what I was told, is the steroid guy. That's what the word is in the media. Somebody said that's why he gets all those fighters. He gives them the steroids. That's the rumor. I can't verify that. Can't verify it. However, makes perfect sense. Ben Davidson, same thing. The fuck is he coaching for? What the fuck does he know? Seriously. He's like 22. He was never any world-class boxer. Why the fuck you got him in your corner? Really? What does he know about the sport of boxing that Tyson Fury doesn't already know? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what's he doing? That's not a Robert Garcia with Virgil Ortiz type of situation. That's not even Bomac and Terrence Crawford. That's not the scenario with Eddie Reynoso and Canelo. Eddie Reynoso's still learning with Canelo all the way to right now. Still learning, right? They say he keeps getting better, working on different things. Tyson Fury's the same fighter he's always been. Fucking cheat. He's a cheat. But he's no better a fighter now Then when he turned to pros. What's the difference? I saw the fights. No difference. Same level of fighter. A cheater. A cheater that nobody likes around him because he's a bully. Because he's a bully. That's what I heard. I heard he's a bully. And people are too intimidated to say anything bad about him because they think he's a big badass. That's what I heard about Tyson Fury. Common thug. Billy Joe too? Could be. I like Billy Joe. I like Billy Joe Saunders. He's an ass. And he cheats, for sure. But I don't think he's as bad as Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury is a common petty criminal. That's it. And I think that's why he gets over. And that's it. Who else is going to be negotiating those bullshit contracts for him? Really? That sounds like a criminal negotiated that contract for him with John McDermott. Absolutely does. What self-respect, what person is going to put that type of agreement together? A mob lawyer. Know him. Could have been one. Pays very well. Pays very well. Antonio Hambrick said, Martin, do you think you'll cover the sport of MMA at some point, not just the UFC, but the whole sport as a whole? No. Before I cover the UFC, I will stop watching sports. I'm never going to sell out on boxing. Too many people already selling out on it. If it wasn't for people like us really trying to get black boxing and talk about black boxing on a daily basis, how the fighters going to have any support? Fighters don't have any support. That means their situation gets worse. So no, I'm going to stay in the sport of boxing, and I'm going to cover the sport of boxing. When Emmanuel Nunes fights, though, I'll watch Emmanuel Nunes. And when if it fights, I'll watch those 3 African champions. I'm going to pay for those fights because I want to support them. But I am forever and ever and ever a boxing fan, man. That's my sport. Until Muhammad Ali transfigures into a UFC star, I'm here. And on top of it, we got a really great heavyweight champion in America that's got a set of balls on him that are worth supporting. Pause. Hate that I say he got a set of balls on him, but he does. That's a brave dude. He's not selling out. He ain't walking off. He's defending his rights. He's saying what the truth is. People know the truth is what he said it was. That's better than the win. It's better than him having knocked out Tyson Fury. Better for him with his true supporters. Better for him. He still got paid for the fight, and nobody thinks he's a scumbag. All he had to do was overcome a little bit of time of everybody thinking he's a liar. He's a liar. He disappeared. Nobody knows where he is. All those stupid shit that trolls do. Act like they don't know where he is. We don't know what he's saying. What do you mean you don't know what he's saying, dude? He was just on his Instagram page. Just because he's not talking to you doesn't mean he's not talking, and he exercised his option. Why are you talking? But this is what Tyson Fury says. Tyson Fury says he's the boss. I thought Daniel Kinahan was your boss. When you selling him out, bitch? I'm waiting for him to sell out Daniel Kinahan. Because he's going to do it. Because I know he's got another boss. Did my research, dog. Wikipedia is a motherfucker. Wikipedia is a motherfucker. If you spend enough time researching people's families, you'll find that there is somebody that Tyson Fury actually works for that's not Daniel Kinahan. And that person is bigger than Daniel Kinahan. And I thought to myself, oh, you're a cutie pie. You're a cutie pie. You put it on Daniel Kinahan. You set Daniel Kinahan up. See, I didn't know till I realized, why would he say Daniel Kinahan's name like that on Twitter? He's setting Daniel Kinahan up. Trying to have him take the fall for that nigga's cheating. No jokes. Think about it. Because I'm not going to tell you who he works for. But however, like I say damn near every day these days, I work in Chicago. And there's a lot of Irish people. A lot of them. A lot of Irish cops in Chicago. And you'll be surprised how many of them still have family there. And they say, he don't care about Daniel Kinahan. He rocks with us. He struck a deal with us. That's why he dropped his British boxing license. He thinks he's skipping to the United States. Do you know that nigga has been in Miami? Miami. They said last time I checked, that nigga's in Miami. Why is he in Miami? Tricked on somebody. Tricked on somebody. Tricked on him. Put his name out there. About all kind of shit. Stuck that shit on that man. I thought he was stupid. I was like, Tyson Fury is stupid. Why would you do that to that dude? I ain't no way in the world I would do that to that dude. I wouldn't say that. But he did it. He said, I want to thank Daniel Kinahan for taking this deal over. Ain't no fucking way. I was just on the phone with Daniel Kinahan. Nigga, you setting that dude up, you bitch nigga. You setting that nigga up, you bitch nigga. You cut a back deal, nigga, with Bob Arum. And everybody knows it. Oh, what happened? Albert Doherty. Let me tell you what happened. I was doing a video, and I was like, hold on. Why? That's what I said. Why? People keep sending me this stuff. All this stuff about MTK Global. I'm telling you, I'm inundated with it. Inundated with it. So I'd say, let me look at it. Okay, let me not be a bad guy. Because everybody's like, Martin, you're such a bad guy. Why, you should hate this guy. You're the worst because you support this guy. So I was like, dude, honestly, what the fuck, nigga? Like, first of all, why is his name all in the middle of this shit if he's some big gangbanging nigga? That shit don't happen. I mean, seriously, if he really is an international crime boss, he's the dumbest international crime boss ever. Why would you try to flirt with that and walk around? Oh, he's just some egotistical guy. You sure? You sure he's just some egotistical guy, or are you trying to set him up and put his name out there and constantly talk about what he's doing in sports when he ain't supposed to be doing that? Tyson Fury's a liar. And he's a cheat. So what I did was I started thinking like a liar and a cheat. And I think everything he says is a lie. And everything he does is a cheat. So why would he put that man's name out in public, and then all of a sudden there's all these fucking news articles about the guy in the public? Tyson Fury's setting him up. Bob Arum and them niggas, according to the logic of The Godfather, because you know we all watch The Godfather. Great movie. Supposed to be wonderful about politics. You can hear me. Dog, why you lying? You out. Santana, you're lying. Goodbye. You try to destruct. I'm not muted, homie. Goodbye. Oh, nah, I threw him out. He's trying to That nigga's playing a cutie game and trying to send me into a 5-minute thing with you about my sound. No. He's out. If I hear there ain't nothing wrong with my sound, and I hear you niggas telling me there's something wrong with my sound, so I have to stop my conversation and go through all that, I'm throwing you out. No more of that. No more distractions, homie. I see my lights. I can check it right there. No more distractions, homie. That's a bitch nigga, dog. And that's why that nigga thinks he can get out of that contract with Deontay Wilder. That's why. He think he got to connect to fuck with the judge. That's what he's doing, according to logic. Because he said he's the boss. He just said it. I'm their boss. You're AJ's boss and Wilder's boss. You're both of their bosses. You can't get no fight, so how you a boss, nigga? What do you mean by boss? Exactly what kind of boss are you? When somebody in America uses the term boss, they mean they run that nigga. How does Tyson Fury run both of them? I'd be very, very interested to know. Last time I checked, Tyson Fury didn't run shit. Last time I checked, he don't run shit. So why the fuck is he talking about he's their bosses? And what kind of boss are you talking about, Mr. Thug? What kind of boss are you talking about, Mr. Thug? No, nigga, these niggas are not going to help you, homie. They're not going to help you out of this, homie. They can't. They can't help you out of this, homie. They can't do it. They're not big enough. The niggas that you're talking to are middle managers at best. Middle managers at best. Unless you go, yeah, that's called a threat. Yeah, that's called a threat when you're desperate. Martin, did you hear Tyson Fury is giving Eddie Hearn 3 days to find a video? After that, he's done with that 2-fight deal. Yeah, that's called desperation. And it's called Eddie Hearn not giving a fuck. Because you ain't my boss, nigga. You running around thinking you running something, dog. You change camps too much, homie. You change camps too much. And you sold out them niggas in Ireland, homie. You sold out Ireland. You sold out Ireland, nigga. You got this nigga's name all in the press. Why? So Bob Arum can have your contract? Huh? I think Frank Warren was already doing business in the UK with MTK Global. If that nigga is who they say he is, then Warren has been knowing who this guy is. So why would he all of a sudden break that nigga out of a contract with Wilder? That don't make sense. Because if Daniel Kinahan was with MTK Global, then that means he was in the first Deontay Wilder fight. And he made the money. Why would he want out the second? Why would he need to bring in Bob Arum? Why would he need to bring in Bob Arum for his U.S. promotions only? Where all the money is. That's nothing but Bob Arum fucking with niggas, dog. And Tyson Fury going with Bob Arum and fucking niggas over in the UK. I love trolls. Come on in, trolls. You can hear it. It's the truth. Since we're philosophizing and thinking about why people want to duck fights. Hey, why do they want to duck fights? Just go listen to what boxers say about ducking fights. They duck fights for a lot of reasons. Other sides of the street. is what they say. But this nigga says, I am their bosses. I run both sides of the street. That's what Tyson Fury just implied. No, you do not, dude. You are attempting to align yourself with people that run both sides. But you don't run both sides, nigga. Stop faking. Stop false flagging. Stop trying to confuse people, nigga. You ain't no boss, dog. You ain't no boss. Tyson Fury, I'll slap you. And you will not swing back. Bring your bitch ass to America. I guarantee you, nigga. Their niggas will slap you in the face and you will not say anything, let alone throw a punch. I promise you. I can tell you who they are. Suzanne Rice. She will slap you and you will not say a thing. Trust me. The deceased Al C. Hastings, rest in peace, will slap you in the mouth and you will not say anything. Exactly. Oh, AOC. That little New York chick, AOC, slap you dead in the mouth. You will say nothing. She'll walk up to you, bend down, boy. Pop. You got something to say? Because these police officers standing around, you got something to say. These niggas around me got something to say to you. If you swing back, don't swing back. Nigga, please. This is the United States. That's how it works over there, too. If I go talk shit in Sheffield or Manchester, somebody will say, nigga, stop talking. Nigga, stop talking. You talk a lot of shit about this Deontay Wilder. We rock with AJ. This is my bar. Get out. Stop talking. See how that works? It happens everywhere. But you running something in Chicago? I don't care what Kevin Aioli dropped. Kevin Aioli's a liar. Did Kevin Aioli drop an hour and a half video so you can have some context? You guys lie on me all the time. You lie on me all the time. Take sound bites and try to prove a point with it. Shut up. Kevin Aioli's an idiot. Shut up. Who cares what Kevin Aioli dropped? Who cares about Kevin Aioli? So what about Kevin Aioli? Whoop-de-doo, Kevin Aioli said something. Exactly. Oh, you got me. Kevin Aioli is the truth. Yeah, nigga, please. Peon, get out of my face. Like, dude, these media dudes, just get away. Okay? I'm well past this now, dog. Oh, yeah, that's because they're stunned. Get the likes up, dog. Get the likes up. The lack of likes is because I don't ask for them. So people get a little transfixed. My retention rate, like my retention rate for how long people watch, is very long. So sometimes people forget. Let's get the likes up over 300, please. I made sure I put Tyson Fury in the title, so there weren't a lot of people here today. There should be a lot less, yakety yaks, because I didn't put Deontay Wilder's name in there. I put a bum and a prospect's name in. That's what I did, dog. I said, loving the new aggressive Martin. See, that is Martin. Fannon is much more peaceful. Martin, on the other hand, will definitely tell you, nigga, if you come to the shy, I'm slapping you in the mouth, nigga. So I don't want to hear none of that shit, okay? And I don't run in no gangs, nigga. I just got a lot of niggas, okay? They're just my boys, nigga. They're called Noops, and they're called Bloods, and they're called fucking Peastone Rangers, and they're called Vice Lords, okay? And they're called Disciples. And they don't give a fuck about you, nigga, okay? And if I can get enough money into that black community, they are not going to give a fuck about you, dude. So I'm going to bring the money to the black community, working with different philanthropists that I know, and see how much money I can get to drop in the middle of a black boxing gym or several, and start putting pressure on guys with this amateur boxing to fix that. So our team, which are black boxers, that's my squad. My squad is black boxers. See, y'all don't realize that boxing also has teams. It is also a team sport. It is. That's why you always see people from Mexico rocking with Mexicans. That's a team. You can call it a tribe. It's a team. The tribe is the team. The team is the tribe. You got niggas you rock with, that's your team. So if one of you go out and fight somebody, you're there for your team. So when they say black fighters don't sell, they say black people don't defend black fighters. So let's defend them. They need a team. Let's be the team. Okay. You want to make a team sport out of an individual sport? Let's make a team. And I already told you what the team is. I already told you the team. They keep sticking the team in jail every time they can for any nonsense purpose. It's called black people. We got alphas, we got deltas, we got AKAs, we got sigmas, we got sigma gamma rhos, we got Qs, we got vice lords, disciples, crips, bloods, Latin kings, all kind of shit. NBA basketball players, Fortune 500 executives, government officials, we got them all. You name something in the United States of America, and I'm going to tell you there's a black man there or a black woman there. In any field of human endeavor, we got a team. Believe it. We got some coons on the team who keep throwing the team members off the team and keep throwing the team members in jail, so our team is always weaker than their team, and then they bet on their team, and then they make money so that they can bring it back to the community and keep our team weak by throwing our kids in jail and taking away the welfare money. That's a team. And you're cheating. You're stealing from my team. See, when you say sports is a microcosm of life, which it is, then you start seeing. Then it's also a team sport. When you go to track and field, that's not an individual sport. That's a team sport. They have a bunch of people that all do different events and compete individually. Same applies with boxing. But they split our team up. They don't split their teams up. They're Mexican fighters, and they say they're Mexican fighters. They're Puerto Rican fighters, they say they're Puerto Rican fighters. When they're from the Ukraine, they got their flag on them. When they're from the UK, they're from the UK. But when it's us, it's nothing. When it's us, it's an individual, and that's it. And if you support black people, you're going to get chastised because they want to destroy our team. They don't want us to have a team. They want us to be on their team. No, you can't have a team. You can be on our team. You can integrate. That's integration. It's weakening us through dissolution. We need to come back together in the same spot. Stop living somewhere else, bozo. Come back to your neighborhood. Buy a house. Stupid. If you don't, you're a coon. Don't think you run the United States, Fury. You don't. You have a decent relationship with some Irish guys in Chicago. That's what you got, bro. That's it. They'll get flipped like hamburgers, nigga, quickly. By Jeff Fort. Believe it. Jeff Fort in prison will flip everybody over there. But you don't know anything about Chicago. You don't know there's a guy serving 200 years for life. 200 years. He can overturn damn near any deal in Chicago with a blink of an eye in a prison cell. You don't know Chicago, homie. We respect the Irish. I love the Irish. But they're not the only people there, homie. Neither are the Italians, neither are the blacks, neither are the Mexicans, neither are the Vietnamese, neither the Polish, neither the Ukrainian, neither the Italian, neither the Armenian, nor the Bulgarian. We got them all. It's mini Rome. Everybody you got over there in Europe, you got in Chicago. That's not like that other places, man. Chicago's the only place where you go and they got a European community there, intact, well organized, in their own area. If you're not from Chicago, you don't know that. But if you try to do business there and you just walk around downtown, or you send your boys to negotiate a fight with Mike Tyson, like I don't know that. How are you going to be around my people and try to negotiate a fight with Tyson Fury and Mike Tyson? You tried to duck, exactly, New York does too. Nigga, you tried to duck Deontay Wilder with Mike Tyson, but you wanted more money. And that's in the paper, homie. But yet you get offered a Mike Tyson fight, and that's your excuse, really, to try to get out of the Deontay Wilder fight, is because you thought you could get more fighting, Mike Tyson than you could get Deontay Wilder. That's why you went to the WWE, and now you probably want to go to Triller. You got no allegiance to anybody, honestly, and I know what you really are, dude. Okay? You keep saying Roma. I don't see a Roma. I'm just going to tell you. I know gypsies, and you don't look like one. I'm just telling you. You don't look like one. They look like Armenians. Gypsies, Romas of Roman background, they look like Kim Kardashian. They look like Kim. They don't look like you. You don't. You just don't look like them. So I'm still trying to understand why you say you're a gypsy. When they don't even say they're gypsies, they say they're Roma. Trust me, I'm descended from Roma. I called my mother a gypsy. And she was like, don't call me no gypsy. Just like you can't call people in Kentucky hillbillies. I call my cousins hillbillies. Be like, you a hillbilly. Like, for real. And my cousin wanted this, dude, my cousin's crazy. And because we all crazy. So when I said, nigga, you a fucking hillbilly. She's like, she snapped. Do not call me no hillbilly. And I was like, oh, okay. Sorry. Never uttered the word again. You know what I think he is? I think he's Jewish, personally. Honestly, I think he's Jewish. If he is part Roma, then he's part Roma. I think he's heavily Jewish. For whatever that means. But I think he's Jewish. He gets along with Bob Arum way too well. And that's who he's trying to roll with in the United States. But he's lying about it. That's what I'm saying. He's just a liar. He's not anything that he says he is. He's claiming racism from Roma. And he doesn't even look like them. Doesn't look like them. They look olive. They're olive. Olive people. They're honestly, Romas are closer to my color than his. Like, or somewhere between us. But definitely, he said, Polish, but most of the people that say that they're Jewish are Polish. They're Polish. They are. They're European. They're just of the Hebrew faith. So absolutely, they're Polish, they're German, right? Just like the Roma are in Europe throughout it. But he just doesn't want to say that he's Jewish. That's what I think. I think he's just ashamed to say that he's not gypsy, that he's Jewish. There aren't gypsies. It's a community in the UK region known as the Travelers. Just look at this back. Just look at this. Yeah, if they're the travelers, then they're not the gypsies. Then they're the travelers. They're not the gypsies. All I'm saying is I ain't well versed on it. Aren't gypsies of Romanian and Irish origins? I don't know. I know they call themselves the Roma, and I know what they look like. My granddad used to work in a circus. My granddad was a clown in a circus. Go look at, matter of fact, I'll tell you a good picture of them. Go watch Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. in it. Look at them. They all are dark skinned. They look like Kim Kardashian. If Kim Kardashian got a tan, and especially the older sister, not the big one, but the older sister, that looks like a gypsy to me. You can tell them when you see them. That's why they get prejudiced. That's why they don't like them. That's why they don't like them. All I'm saying is he don't look like it to me. If he is, you know what I mean? I look about as white as he looks Roma. There you go. That's about as much as I'll say. I think he looks as I look as Jewish. Let me put it that way. I look as Jewish as he looks Roma. Right? I got a big nose. That's what they say. It's the same thing. It's just that area of the world in a different religion. But still, there's a lot of people who are Jewish with the same nose as me, with the same ears as me. And I'm quite certain that it's the same relation. It's just a religion. It's not a relation. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew is a religion. It's not a relation. So you can have Christians and Hebrews in the same family. Right? Because one converted to Christianity and the other didn't, but they're the same family. So the same Hebrew that might have been in Europe never transitioned to Christianity. That doesn't make them any different than the people that transition to Christianity, except for they don't believe Christianity, which is exactly what the case is. And the base of all the problems in Europe. They act like it's just hate. No, it is religion. You deny their God. When you deny people's gods, they get pissed off. Try to deny science and see how pissed off they get. That's their religion. Everything that they say is explained with science. Because everything that you say about God or the supernatural or how you think things work, they always correspond with that can't happen. And how do they know it can't happen? They point to science. So science is your religion. God's not, because God said all that stuff can happen. It's in the Bible and all the sacred texts. But your Bible says it can't happen. So I'm looking at your Bible, the textbooks, and then I say, no, I don't agree with your textbooks. You get very mad at me. Just like anybody else's whose religion is insulted. It's just the truth. So they're caught up in religious things. Science will eventually point to God. You can't point to God. God is all. Only thing science can do is complete the journey. But in order to complete their journey to the why, and that's simple, why does this shit happen? Until they turn their attention to the why it's happening instead of how it's happening, they're going to have a problem. And we'll all have a problem along with them, because you have to ask yourself, why, just like a tree branch, why are there so many, are they so interested in technology and playing in the mud? Why won't they just look to God? Why? Because they're not stupid. They've heard this shit 50 million times, and they own all the books. Because they want to control you. They already know that. But they think because you don't know that, you are a sucker who can be controlled. So they sucker you and control you. And no matter how big you are, it doesn't matter. You're going to run into them. That's how it works. And that's why it always works like that. And that's political science. That's sociology. That's history. That's John Henry Clark. That's Haile Selassie. Okay? That's the man that wrote how the Irish became white, how the Jewish became white. Come on, man. These are all in books, homie. Don't call me crazy. I can citation. I can give you citations. But since their shit sucks, they have to call me crazy. And see, but why do they call me crazy? They call me crazy about God? No. They call me crazy about the earth. When I tell you, look, dog, y'all are full of shit and you don't run nothing. Because if you were such big, bad dudes, you would never have to hurt anybody. All you'd have to do is turn their lights off. If you're so big and bad and you run something, go down to the power company and turn the electricity off. Why you need to threaten and kill little niggas outside their buildings when all you got to do is repossess them? Why don't you repossess the buildings? Why you got to call cops in? Why don't you just repossess the building and evict them? Because you don't own the buildings. And you don't have nobody in government. But some peons that are going to steal for you on a day-to-day basis. You don't know no senators. You don't know no presidents. You ain't never met a Supreme Court judge in your life. Fuck off. You've never met a president in your life. You've never met a Supreme Court justice in your life. You've never met a Fortune 500 CEO in your life. You've never owned a company in your life. You've never met the Pope in your life. They can't Google you. You ain't shit, nigga. Stop acting like you big time. I know people who are big time. Barack Obama is big time. You're not big time. He's big time. You're not big time. Kamala Harris is big time. You're not big time. Jeff Bezos is big time. You are not big time. Stop, and I will get a meeting with all of them. Stop. And you know I can, because I have. With the exception of Jeff Bezos. Can get them. Do not think I can't. They're coming to Austin. They're coming to Austin. His headquarters will be in Austin. And he goes to church. And so do I. Yes, I do. Greek Orthodox will go to the Russian Orthodox. In a minute, I got a butt cheek and I'm Greek. Bitch, nigga, I'm there. I'm as Greek as you are, and I understand it better. Easy. I'm a Hierophant. Are you a Hierophant? If you're not a Hierophant, shut up. I'm a Hierophant. No doubt about it. I'm a Kappa. I was a double pole mark. I understand the symbology, and I can teach it to others. That, my friend, took me past neophyte, adept, to Hierophant by education. Technically speaking, I'm a priest. Don't like it, but technically speaking, that's how they box all of that. You know that you're a priest because you're talking about God in an intelligent fashion. But I'm not. But I am. Same time, man. And I'm not lying. Ask me a question. I'll give you the answer. Ask me Alpha I'll give you beta through kappa. I'll one-up Jesus. He said, you tell me alpha, I'll tell you beta. You tell me alpha, I'll tell you beta, alpha, beta, gamma, ooh. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, alpha, psi, to the day I die. Lambda, mu, nu, xi, the cron, pi, we take the rho, the tau, the epsilon, phi, psi, never be omega. I'm never dying. I'll explain every word of that to you clearly and indisputably. Who is Muhammad? The relative of Jesus Christ. And the last emperor of that area. Muhammad's an emperor. That's who he is. And that's why he still have people very loyal to him that call him a prophet, because they profited off of him mightily. Next question. And why do I know that? Because that's the story of Moses, Abraham, all of them. Every one of them. Same story repeated. You guys keep thinking, because the same story is repeated, that means that they're not individual men. And that just means it all means the same thing. No, it doesn't. All it means is every time there's an emperor, there's a bunch of bitch niggas trying to kill him. And sometimes they get him, sometimes they don't. That's all that means. You say Buddha, I say emperor. You say Jesus, I say emperor. When you say Muhammad, I say emperor. When you say Hitler, I say emperor. When you say Napoleon, I say emperor. They're the only people that get their faces put on money. Who gets their faces put on money? Emperors. And minor lords in areas that want to recognize their minerals or their money from somebody else's, so they can always go get it. Give me all my yen. It's yen, it's mine. That's my money for my family. That's how we divide it. Why are you trading yen for dollars? All they do is take the dollars and immediately go to yen. What do they need dollars for, other than to take the dollars out of the U.S. economy and weaken it? None. They don't spend yen. They don't spend dollars. They spend yen. So why are you paying them in American dollars? To get the American dollars out of the economy and into the euro. You're just stealing. That's it. Not complicated. Next question. Throw the money changers out. Jesus did it. So did Hitler. Exactly. George Washington was a general. There is no American emperor. There's a democracy, which is Greek. There's a Greek democracy. Were there any Greek emperors? Yes. Alexander the Great was a Greek emperor who sat over a democratic country, whatever you want to say it. The only reason there's not an emperor here is because they try for there not to be one. But there could be one easily. Easily. Why? Because niggas don't like them. The same reason there's always emperors. They put a title on it. It's the guy that runs their families. The guy that loves the family. You got a bunch of families that are getting a bunch of problems from your family, and they all get together and they say, let's stop letting them cause us all this problem. See, you guys think nation state. A nation state is just an artificial thing on a map. Lines that you're not supposed to cross. That's not real. If you want to look at a real map, it has pictures of mountains and lakes and shit on it. So you know what's there, not what line you can't cross. So you get Texas families, you get Chicago families, That's human nature. When you draw a border, they're all going to circle in that border. When you take that border away, they're all going to circle in that new border that's bigger. They herd you like cattle into a state. They put your nation into a state of immobility. That's the difference between the Roman Empire and the democratic, Greek-based government we have now. Because this is based on Greek. Democracy. Democracy. Philadelphia. Oracle of Delphi. That is a Greek named city, which was the original big bad city after the colonization. But that's history. But you know, anytime, that's why they cut term limits. For example, how many years did you think FDR would have won president? He would have won the presidency till he died. Easy. But why didn't he stay? Why don't they do that anymore? Because they put in a 2-term limit. Why? The original Congress didn't do that. They say they believe in the founders. There was never a term limit. If you take a term limit away, you got an emperor. Because he will win the vote every time. Not because he's some oppressive person, but because he's the guy that got all the money and he gives it straight to the people. This is why they want a capitalist democracy and not a socialist democracy. A capitalist democracy is dog eat dog and you get a vote. Socialist democracy is you get to eat and you get a say-so over what happens. What good is democracy without socialism? It's oligarchy. An oligarchy is not emperor. Oligarchy is a bunch of people with no judge to sit on top of them and say, act right with my money. And that's what Jesus did when he threw them out. I don't need you. I got disciples. I got people. I got money. I don't need you. I can do the will of the people. And the people will tell me their will. Or they will throw me out. That's what Jesus' situation was. So I will go back, turn water into wine. I will flip birds. I will turn bread into more bread. I will turn fish into more fish. So y'all don't kill me. Because if you know I own all this money and you're starving and I'm an easy go, which is why they always want to call me a god or want to call me this or call me that. That would be the mindset I always assumed. No. The Pharisees and the Sadducees are responsible for something. They're responsible for the form and structure of it. The administration of it. So the administration of it killed the emperor. Because they didn't want to do what he said do. He said, give them the money, give them the food. I don't need any profit. I don't need a return on my investment. It's not an investment. I'm giving it to them. You cannot tax them on what I give them. I gave it to them. It's mine. I pay your bills. I pay theirs. Why do you get a cut of what I'm paying him? That is what I've always thought Jesus thought. And because why would he throw the money changers out? Because you're changing money. Who changes money? People that change money from one denomination to another. That's changing money. Oh, give me $1, I'll give you a yen. That's neocolonialism. That's exactly what Kwame Nkrumah described. That's politics, and I have a political science degree. Don't call me crazy. I am a political scientist. I'm baptized in the Christian church. I have standing on those issues. I can prove to you that I am a Christian. I can prove to you that that's what it says in the Bible. I can prove to you that that was the responsibility of the people in those positions in that story. If you don't like it, just say you don't like it and thumb it down. But don't lie and say that's not it, because that is it. That connects religion to politics. Something they always want to do. Separate church and state. How can you separate church and state? How can you separate the people from the people? Because the people are in the church and the people are in the state. You can't separate the church and the state. You might as well be trying to separate people's lungs from each other. You can't separate one side of the brain from the other because they're mapped in the brain too. You, my friend, are the left side of the brain, analytical, stuck in the mud. They are the right side, creative, looking for understanding. That is two sides of the brain. Your laws cannot overcome that. Nobody said they didn't agree with God. Nobody. You say, in God we trust, but to separate church from the money. That is a conflict of interest. That is something in your theology or your constitution that needs to be addressed, because you cannot tell people to separate themselves from themselves. How can I say I'm going to vote on who the president is, but I have to put all my morals to the side? Because you get your ethics and sense of moral from your religion. So you tell me I got to vote for you even though everything that you do violates my ethics. Because I need to be a political realist, says Hans Morgenthau, Henry Kissinger, Hillary Clinton. They say to confuse the morality of the individual with that of the nation state is to court national disaster. The state goes nowhere, but your nation dies. It's not state disaster, national disaster. He didn't say national and state disaster. You just said national disaster. So who's the nation? The nations are the tribes. That is a threat. Stone cold threat in their theology, in their political science, which you think doesn't have anything to do with theology. Political science is theology. Is theology. You got to have a reason to say that you know the will of God. If you know the will of God, then you can tell people what they need to do. That's politics. Church is politics. Very much so. Did I leave the dummies yet? I'm trying to get down to like a, get you niggas out of here. If you can't tell, I'll elevate my conversation to the point that no bozo with a boxing channel can ever debate it. Good luck with this one. Go pay some peon from New York $50,000 and see if his ass can do what I just did. And connect. I want to tell you what I did. I connected history, religion, sociology, politics, theology, metaphysics, religion, familial relations, gangs, and boxing. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa. You're not on my level. I'm a hierophant. I am a hierophant. You best understand what that is. It means I can go into your pastor's house and debate him to the ground about his religion, and he will lose. I can talk to the Pope and debate him about Catholicism, and he will lose. Wouldn't come in the room with me to save his life. Intellectually, not a chance. I understand Catholicism. I understand Orthodox Greek. I understand Orthodox Catholic. I understand Lutheranism. I understand Mormonism. I understand Baptism. I understand Protestant. I understand it. I understand the Egyptian. I understand the Hermetic. I understand Buddhism in essence. But I know they're all emperors with a set of rules. and priests that write that shit. Their emperors have priests too that write their stories down too. And they got bitch niggas in their country just like they got bitch niggas here. And I know who you are. And I will flip you like birds. I will flip you like birds with Crips. Send them right up into right into your mosque. Go get them. What do you call them? What do you call them, dudes? You have a right to reduce to servitude all infidels. If that church finds you to be an infidel, according to your own rules, they can enslave you. Yes, they can. So, if Patriarch Krill and that Greek dude say, Pope, you're an infidel, Putin is duty bound to attack you and snatch you up. And your Swiss guard will fold. Your Swiss guard will fold. Wherever they are. You can have Swiss guard in Chicago. They'll fold. You got Swiss guard in New York, you'll fold. You got Swiss guard in New Orleans, you'll fold. We'll get your Swiss guard wherever your Swiss guard is and snatch you out that motherfucking city. I'm speaking to the Pope. You know I'm crazy. I'm just telling political science, dog. That's the mentality of Hitler. That was King Henry VIII. King Henry VIII that did the Protestant church did just like that. Did something just like that and founded the church. Could have been Martin Luther. Maybe Martin Luther was their emperor. I don't know. They don't usually say the name. But I guarantee you, wherever you see priests and politicians, you're going to see an emperor. Somebody's got to make them work together. Somebody. Because the emperor is a priest. Yes, he is. An emperor has to be a priest, and he or she has to be royal. Period. The royalty connects them to the church by heredity. That's the monarchy. They're connected to the church. The army, on the other hand, sits over there with the administration. Under the orders of the executive officer. That is the structure of humanity. Go ask a political scientist. They will tell you, yes, that's how it works. That's why local politicians go to their churches before their elections. And why they will never say they're an atheist ever. Because as soon as they do, they'll lose. Because the church will never go for that. Because the emperor is a priest. You cannot have a non-religious emperor. Never going to happen. Because people don't like government and they don't like administrators. They hate administrators. That is common. In a big organization, you don't like the administration. You don't like human resources. You don't like your manager. You don't like the person that tells you to punch the clock. You don't like them. But why do you listen to them? Because if you don't get your check. Or if you don't get your food. But whose food is it? And whose work are you doing? You're doing the work of the church and the royals. Wherever there's a Greek democracy, there is a group of people that do not want a Greek emperor. Period. It is in the form and structure of the organization. Nobody likes their boss. Nobody. The church doesn't like their boss. I don't care what they say. That's why the Sadducees did it. The administration don't like it. That's why the Romans washed their hands of it. Or the other way. Yeah, the army, because the army was there. So that's the administration, the military. So the leaders of the military washed their hands and did not defend him. So he was easy to be grabbed by his family. And his family executed him, like happens now over there in Saudi Arabia. If a prince is there and a prince is saying, by heredity, is saying something that the ruling family doesn't like, they will arrest him. They will put him in loose confinement. He will not be able to leave the country. He will not have access to his money. And he will sit there. And there are princes in Saudi Arabia and throughout Arabia that are doing just that. They do not have easy lives. That is not nuts. That is political science, and you're uneducated. Queen Elizabeth II claims to be a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. She may well be. She may well be a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. Why wouldn't she be? If he's an emperor and he owns all the territories, he might have family there, which is why they run that area, because they're in his family. Our families are very old. All of our families are very old. Your family's very old. And if you don't believe it, just think for a second. How long have your family been reproducing? And keep going back. Don't worry about how many names you come up with, but just keep going back. You'll see you've got billions of ancestors, billions of them. At a certain point, everybody will be related. Once you get, 90 generations back? Your grandfather, your great-grandfather, then go great 90 times. Great 90 times, you're going to be related to the same guy and the same girl. It's going to happen, without a doubt. So to say people are not related, they're related. People are related to Jesus because Jesus had a mother, and her mother had mother, and her mother had sisters, and her sisters had fathers, and her fathers had wives that had cousins. And they're all over there. Cammy, descendants of the prophet, he doesn't have to have any male surviving heirs to have descendants. You have to understand what their concept of descendant is. They don't believe that descendant just means that you're physically related to somebody and you came through their body. If you're family, you're family. So you have the guy that runs the family and he's your father, but his brother is just as much a father to you as him because they're the same, because they're from the same father. So just because Muhammad didn't have any children didn't mean that he didn't have brothers and sisters that had children. They did. And if he doesn't have a children, whatever was his will go to one of them. It's called a cross inheritance. And it's descended, because that means go down, to descend from. No, that's not even complicated, man. In Islamic law, Cammy, Islamic law. But before Islamic law, there was Christian law. And before Christian law, there was Hebrew law. And before Hebrew law, there were other laws. And before those laws, there were other laws. The laws are the laws of the emperor. You're telling me what Muhammad said about Muhammad's descendants. That's his will, literally and figuratively. You're telling me it's the will of Muhammad, and I'm telling you it's the will of Muhammad. Get it? It is both the will of Muhammad, but it's also the legal will of Muhammad. But just because Muhammad leaves a will doesn't mean people will not contest that will. They will contest it, and it will be called Protestants, who will protest the current line of inheritance, whether it be spiritual inheritance or whether it be physical monetary inheritance, which is a byproduct of your spiritual inheritance. because they believe in the three. As above, so below. So in heaven, so on earth. If God is in heaven, then God is on earth. And he's here in the same form. It's their belief. That's their belief. You can say that's not true, but you can't say that's not their belief. Since that's their belief and they go to church, you may want to think maybe that has something to do with their decisions. Seriously, you guys don't study history. You guys study the things that happened, but you guys don't understand the interpersonal relationships between people that are inherent in their relationships. You're going to have, if your brother is the one that's older than you and he's going to get all the money and you're not, you can have beef with him over that. You don't think that the guy thinks, oh, it should be me. Why wasn't I born or before? Or somebody could say, oh, I was born before you. Then so why don't I get it? Why does my younger brother or younger sister get it? Of course. So then you're going to get battles because there's people that are connected to them because there's business and money connected to that. That's why, y'all act like shit's a mystery. It's not a mystery, homie. It's not a mystery. We're in this is a democracy. Democracies are the law of the Greek. It's their law. It is. If you accept my premise that the law is given by the priests and priests name emperors and emperors name monarchs and monarchs name parliaments and senates that oversee the election of presidents. They're offices. They're offices. It's offices. So, whose office is it? You're telling me it's a Greek. You're telling me it is. Because you're saying it's a democracy. If you said that it was what's the Islamic? What's Islamic? You living under Sharia law? If you were living under Sharia law, where would you say you were living? If you're living under Greek law, where do you think you are? That's what I'm saying. And they own banks and they own oil fields. That's just what it is. That Cornell West isn't going to lay that out for you. Skippy Dip. What that fucking moron's name is? Skip from Harvard. They're idiots. They're undereducated idiots. I've been saying that about them fucking Ivy League niggas. They are undereducated and over-arroganced. Undereducated, over-resourced. Undereducated, over-resourced. Who would do that? Tell somebody nothing, teach them nothing because they suck. All they know how to do is fire people. First go, fire everybody, hire white people. That's their miracle solution to everything. Barack, threw some niggas in there. Apollo and Zeus. Thank you, Tom Dick. Before Jesus and Buddha, there was Apollo and Zeus. Zeus. You know my dog, Zeus? Come on, man. If you want to free your people, get an emperor. Period. That's how you solve your problems. And if he or she, because it could be a she, could be a she, he or she, Cleopatra sounds like an emperor to me, empress. They have empresses. No discrimination. There are empresses. You are fuck up and she's not. You go, she gets it. What's the problem? No, the Greeks have one God. One God. In your sense, they have one God. In your sense, they have many elementals. Zeus is an elemental. Elemental. Thor is an elemental. Loki is an elemental. They're not gods by our definition of God, because our definition of God is that God is the all. They don't say that Zeus is the all. They say Zeus is the king of the gods, which tells you Zeus is an emperor on high. That's it. He's not the all. If you understand Greek philosophy, you will know he is not the all. And Jesus is the Alpha and the Omega, but he is not the all. See? It's consistent across all of it. It's consistent against Buddhism, across Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Mormonism, any form of Protestantism. Exactly. God attributes. That's it. They are their attempt to conceptualize the totality by segmentalizing it into its manifestations that they don't believe you can see, because they operate on a vibration above you, but not a vibration that's non-physical, still physical. But all is mental to them. So it's all mental. Zeus is the Zeus in you. Hades is the Hades in you. Hermes is the Hermes in you. And there are greater principles and virtues above that, which is why they teach music and harmony and all of that. And why Pythagoras says you have to know geometry, you have to know music, and you have to know, what is it? You had to learn music before you got in. You had to know geometry before you moved in, before you talked to him. Other than that, you wouldn't understand the basic principles. But what are the principles of geometry? And what are the principles of music? Music is harmony. It is the rounded square, which is the circle. Geometry is the square and the diamond and any other physical manifestation of the will of God. That is what that means. It is the same as the Trinity in the Christian church, but taught in a different way. There is no confusion in that at all, other than us trying to invalidate everyone by claiming that everyone is the only one. Now, I do believe that Jesus might have been the only one of him. That, I do believe, may have been extra. That's what I get off Jesus. His is extra. You know what I mean? Like, these other niggas ain't him. You know what I mean? Like, something extra about him. And everybody agrees on it. Because nobody denounces him. See what I'm saying? You just got to use your logic and also talk to people. Talk to people that are Buddhists. Talk to people that are from Islam. Talk to people that are 5%ers. Talk to people that are Rosicrucians. Talk to people that are hermits. Talk to people. Talk to people that are pharmacists. Talk to people that are biologists. If you talk to people that are street criminals. And after you do all that, grab some rocks, throw them up in the air, and ask them a question. And by the time that bitch is landed, you will know the answer to your question. Because your questions will be in the music of your toss and in the geometry that your mind perceives. So as above, so is below. Which is why the little bone niggas in their noses with all those shits is somebody you need to talk to. Because how would they know that? They've got it down to such a science, they can throw rocks up, land on a piece of paper, and there you go. Divination. An extension of logic, technically metaphysics. But all mental. Have I lost you, trolls? Have you gone away? And I rock with the LDBC because we have PhDs in the LDBC. We have chemists in the LDBC. We have scholars in the LDBC. World renowned. Believe it. And you shall receive it. Tyson Fury ain't getting out this fight. You ain't getting out this fight. Because if you do, that's a lot of shit on your head, dog. From Krilla. I'm sure of it. From the Krilla. My nigga. From the Krilla, my nigga. This is Martin Blackwell. This is not Fannon. Fannon talk boxing. This is Martin Blackwell. I just want to let you know what I am, who I am, what I aspire to be. I wanted to be a hierophant. Wanted to be one. Wanted to be one. Consider joining the Nation of Islam. I said that's the easiest way to sucker niggas out of money. I can get up there and I can give a priest. I can do that. I used to think that. That would have been a good scam for me. Sit my ass up there and do that. And every politician will have to come to me to ask me for votes and money. And I'll be rich. You niggas will be doing what I tell you to do. I don't care what office you're in. Because I'm a priest. And I love God. Above all. That's why I couldn't do it. Because I love God. And these niggas don't understand it. Don't understand it. You Second Baptists, you don't understand it. You hear the history, but you don't understand it. You don't understand it. No way. That you understand it. So don't tell me you're getting out of this. You're not getting out of it. That's a noose around your neck. No doubt. Any way you pull, nigga, you're going to get yapped. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. What's going on, John Page? I'm just telling you. Because the priests in Europe, they run that bitch. That's all that war. That's some priests. No doubt. No doubt. The priests. They're at war. Been at war. Stay at war. Until the second coming of God. Who can say, stop all that shit. You niggas work for me. And I don't need all y'all. So let's make it pop. So I say Jeff Fort. So I say make Jeff Fort the emperor. Because niggas will get their money for show. Because you niggas need to get niggas their money. You got to get niggas their money, dog. That's why I rock with the niggas. Because the niggas are going to win. The Bible says, and the last shall be first. First shall be last, and the last shall be first. We the last, nigga. It's time we're first. Obviously. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Whoever you are who's first, it's time to be last. And whoever last, it's time to be first. And whoever was second, it's time to be third. Until you get all the way down to the last and pop your ass back up. You tell me alpha, I'll give you omega. Don't be pulling that on me, no. Don't do no alpha and omega, nigga. You know I'm going to get you. That's some noob trying to get me. Do not out quiz me, nigga. I get you every time. Ask me another question, nigga. I got it. Ooh, I got him. No, Muhammad made Islam. If the Catholics made Islam, then Islam would be within the Catholic religion. It would be. But they're both Orthodox, though. The Orthodox ones. But anyway, anytime you niggas want to get bumped, nigga, come on over here, dog. It is not a history book, dog. It's a family story. That's what it is. It's a family story. Family story of the line of Adam. That's it. Starts with Adam, and it goes up. Adam was in the forest. He's the one that was in the forest. It's Adam. And we're all related to Adam, aren't we? Don't we all agree? The first is Adam, and nobody ever talks about Adam. They leave Adam alone. Just Adam and Eve and a snake. So who's the snake? What's the apple? What's Adam? And what's Eve? And that's the whole fucking story. That is the only story that you need to understand, and you'll get everything else. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you is there. He said, baby, I love you. I brought you here. I love you. You my woman. I don't need anybody else. Just do me a favor. Don't steal my shit. I like apples. Don't eat them. Don't eat them. Just don't eat my apple. That's my apple. Okay? Everybody else had an apple. You know what I'm saying? Go eat anything else. There's bananas over there. Plenty of them. Just not my apples. They're my apples. Don't eat my apples. She fucked around and ate his apple. Because some snake convinced him. Convinced her. So she did it. And it pissed him off. Because I can't trust you. And the snake said, you can't trust that bitch. Adam, I never bit you, nigga. Trust me, you don't need her. What you need her for? You got us. Why you need her? You're not alone. You got all of us. Why do you need her? She ain't trustworthy, man. But go ahead and materialize yourself. She's the female principal. Go ahead and leave us. But don't give her us. Don't you tell her down there in that mud hole you want to go to anything about me. Because I don't want to go. And she going to pull me down. She's treacherous. You're not treacherous. She's treacherous. Not the woman. Not the woman. Not the female. But the creative principle that digs you down from the spiritual all into an ignorant sense of self. You thought you were alone and that you couldn't speak with us. And we didn't understand you. And because I bit you, that means I didn't love you. No. That signifies the separation of man from nature. Because she violated a rule. You cannot eat that apple. That apple is for Adam. I, the tree, made that for Adam. I'm of Adam. You are not of me. You don't get my fruit. You took my fruit. And you ate the whole thing. Do you know when you take some and then leave it down there for the mice and the squirrels or whatever else can't get to that tree? You see what I'm saying? When you go through the logic of the male and female principle, and then you apply that to the story of Adam and Eve, in a spiritual sense, in a literal sense, and in a political sense. Even their desire to trap you in 3s doesn't mean you can't go to a 9, right? I got you. Now, where's that Messianic ass nigga now? Where you at, nigga? Where you at? Where you at? I made that up on the spot just so I can fuck with you, dog. I can do Adam and Eve too. That's fun. But yeah, more than likely, yeah, he was probably the first one to organize them and to bring them into nature and have them start destroying nature and ripping down the trees and slashing stuff up to build houses and clothes and all those other things that animals think are vanity. It's vanity. It's red. Red is vanity. Blood is the flesh. You drink of the vanity of Christ. That is an insult, as well as a compliment, depending on who's drinking it. Right? Because it's polarity. It is what you think it is. So whatever you think in symbology, it will be in your existence. I beat you again. I went hermetic. Now, Mr. Mason, follow me to the hermetic. If you can't follow me to the hermetic, shut up, nigga. I own you. Nope. See, let me tell you about these noobs. These noobs don't believe in telling you shit. You can take it to, that's what I'm saying, Ron. You can take it to 9. Just take it to 9. You got to go through it. 1, a 1, a 2, a 3. All a 9 is the complete, according to them. But that's the 12 too. Some people may disagree. Anyway, got to go. I'm not going to make no money today. But I'm not going to be off somewhere pontificating existence, okay? I've realized that I need to be on my boxing channel to talk boxing, but sometimes, people, I'll go away and I want to think about my God. And I want to be with my God. And sometimes I leave my own senses. But I truly believe and know that God is with you and God is with us. So no matter where you go, I am me. And we are we. And that is me. And better than Pythagoras. Much love to everybody in the chat and everybody in the super chat. I had to flex my dome piece today, dog. To those that understand, I love you in a familial sense, and I'm a holla. Peace.